Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Well, it is 12:08 a.m. and I just went and got a Diet Coke at McDonald's, and I'm currently on my way to go meet Valerini at the casino. She's probably there already. She said she'd get there at 12. And I'm either going to make this a really short vlog today, or I'll vlog on the way up there and then when I get done as well. So we'll see. It'll kind of depend on how long I'll be there. But if I don't, it's going to be a really short vlog, like a 20-minute vlog, which maybe is what I'll do tonight. I don't know. It's been a really, really good day. I've had the personal stuff going on. You know, like, I can't talk about, not to do with my own sobriety, but like, I can't talk about a lot of my recovery stuff on here, you know, just because I'm not going to do that. You know, my interactions with people and things like that. But like, I've had some things that I've been concerned about this weekend. So they kind of settled down today, and I'm not as worried as I was about some people. But it's been kind of, you know, like a heavy weekend. And today was good. My husband was so good to me this whole weekend, knowing, you know, that I was struggling with stuff. And it's like, you know, I was talking about this on my vlog the other day, that I show so much of my life on here, but I have to say, like, that's really like a piece that is like such a huge part of my life that, like, I really don't show on here. I mean, there are people in my life that, like, I literally see 3 to 4 times a week that I talk to, you know, every day, that have never been mentioned on my vlog because they choose not to, and I respect that, you know? So it's hard because there's a huge part of my life that is, you know, missing from what I show and like what my life really is like, you know? And, so yeah, so anyway, but today was great. We got up and we went to brunch today. We were going to go to brunch with another couple, and then that didn't end up working out. So we went to Patashu, and our waitress that we have there, this is like our second time having her. We go there all the time, and we haven't, like, really got to know her very well, because we, like, our old waiters and waitresses that we had, we've known them for, like, years. And so this was, like, this is the second time that we had her. We had her the last time, too. And so she and I were starting to talk, and I said, "Are you from around here?" And she's like, "Well, I went to high school at such and such place." And I said, "Well, you're probably much younger than me anyway." And she said, "I'm 47. And I go, "We're the same age." And she goes, "No." She goes, "Are you really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Where did you go to high school?" And I said, "I went to Carmel." And she was like, "Oh my God, my boyfriend went to Carmel." And so we started talking, and we, like, knew so many of the same people. And then it was funny because we started talking about, like, this other place that she works, and she knows, like, the ex-girlfriend of one of my really, really good friends. And I was like, "Oh, she used to date my friend so-and-so." And she was like, "Oh my God, I love her." She was like, "I know her really, really well," and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And we were swapping stories, and then she knew a bunch of people that Alex knew, and it just was, like, it was so weird. And she was so nice, and it was just fun. We sat there, we stayed forever, and I had to leave because I had my, my book club live stream today at 4 o'clock, and I'd already decided that I wasn't going to film videos today because I wanted to spend, like, the whole day with Alex, and other than, like, the book club, but he had some work he had to do anyway, so it, like, coincided at the same time. And he was watching a TV show, like, while he was, like, working and stuff. So anyway, but after that we watched, well, anyway, so we left Patashu, and then we're gonna go to the mall because I wanted to go to Sephora and I wanted to get some cologne, and Alex had a couple things he wanted to look at, but we didn't end up doing that because I had to call Mel, and then I had to do the book club, which was, like, at 4. At this point it was, like, 20 after 3. So we went home, and I did the book club. The book club was great today. It was so much fun. And we talked about Zodiac. And then we announced the next month's book, which is American Predator, which is about Isaac Keyes, a serial killer. And we're really excited about reading that. We announced that the book club is now an all true crime book club. Yeah, and so that was good. And then afterwards, Alex and I watched a bunch of TV shows that he likes. I don't even watch these shows, but I like, because of him, I like started to watch them. So one of them, I think it's X on the Beach, maybe, I don't know, something like that, X on the Beach show. And then the other show is, I've talked about it on here before, where like it's all these people that identify as like the bisexual and pansexual, and they're all put in this house together. I think it's called like, Are You the Perfect Match, or Are You the Perfect One, or something. I asked him tonight, I go, what is this show called? It is literally one of the corniest shows I've ever seen in my entire life, and I'm consumed with it. I sit there and I watch it, and I'm like, and I'm asking him 100 questions. He's just laughing the whole time. So anyway, we watched all these shows, and then we hung out upstairs in bed for a while and talked and stuff, and we like made a lot of plans for stuff that we want to do in the house. We talked a lot about that today, and we started talking about maybe some trips that we want to take next year. And then then I was showing him, okay, so I got that song stuck in my head from the Easy A. So the Easy A is like one of Alex and I's favorite movies together. I don't know why, but we loved it when we first saw it. And she sings that Pocket Full of Sunshine song. She gets a birthday card, and the birthday card has Pocket Full of Sunshine in it. And so she sings it over the course of a whole weekend. So I like looked up that scene, and then her friend on Monday asks her, she's like asking about this fake boyfriend that she has, and she says, like, you know, it's really weird, like I feel like he's all mine, which is like a line from the song, And so I was playing it for Alex. Alex and I were watching that. And then I was playing him some Chelsea Lynn Snapchat filter reviews, which are absolutely hilarious. And he was showing me some video. We're no different than you guys out there that message me and say like, oh, my husband and I, my boyfriend and I, we watch your videos in bed. I mean, that's what Alex and I do. So anyway, and then we kind of talked about our week and what we have planned for the upcoming week and all that kind of stuff. So it was good. We had a good day today. We had a good gay day, but we had a good day today, spending it together, hanging out. It was fun. And, yeah. And then he went to bed because he has to work early tomorrow. And, well, he said he doesn't have to really go in until mid-morning, but he wants to go in early because he's got a bunch of stuff he wants to get done. And, so, yeah. And we both have so much stuff to do between now and when we leave for Las Vegas in 3 weeks. And, yeah. Oh, I can't sing that song. If I start singing that song, it'll never stop. That song from Easy A. Reading Rush has officially ended. I read 2.5 books, which is not great, but for me it's good. And I'm actually on my 3rd audiobook of the week. I'm on the 3rd book of the Pine series, and it's really good. But it's kind of different than the other two. I wanted to finish the whole series or trilogy in 1 month, so I want to finish it before August 1st, which is on Wednesday. But it's interesting, like, the way that it goes back and forth and all this kind of stuff. You know, there's, like, just a lot to it. And, I don't want to, I'm, like, wanting to tell the story, but I was, like, talking to Mel about it today on the phone, but I was like, I don't want to ruin it for you, Mel, because I would like you to read them. I think you'd really like them. Blake Crouch is a phenomenal author, and he's the one that wrote Dark Matter, and then he also wrote Recursion, and these are his ones. This is the trilogy that got turned into, what do you call it? These like ropes in the road or whatever. What are those for? Do they count something? They're supposed to wake you up because you're going into construction zone. Here they come again. I think that's what they're for. But anyway, those books are great, but this is the book, the trilogy book. I'm like my grandma now back in the day when she was like, not that grandma, my other grandma, my dad's mom. She'd be like, did she go like through 5 names before she actually called you what your real name was? But anyway, I feel like I'm kind of brain fried today, honestly. From watching all these TV shows, to doing the reading club, to Alex and I like nonstop talking today, to I was watching Grace and Frankie late last night, to being, I feel like, on the phone this entire weekend, talking about recovery, and I just feel like a little brain fried today. It's kind of crazy, which is why it's going to be kind of nice to just go to the casino and sit there with Valerie and drink a fountain pop, you know. They have really good fountain pop at the casino. I used to be able to talk on the phone for just hours and hours and hours, you know. Like, I'm not great at that anymore. Like, I like it. I enjoy talking on the phone, but I just can't do it for long periods of time anymore. Are you like that, or are you like phone talkers? Like, Tanya is not a phone talker. Like, she will, and we do, but she doesn't love talking on the phone. She's always like, just stop over and we'll talk and we'll hang out and talk. And I'm like, I was really just calling for 5 minutes to see what was going on. We didn't have to talk for an hour, you know what I mean? But, yeah. Sometimes that's why it's nice for me to, like, listen to audiobooks, because I don't have to, like, you know, my eyes when I read hurt over a long period of time, and so when I'm listening to an audiobook, you know, I'm just driving, I kind of am just like, I zone out, like, and just I'm kind of like, you know, just listening to the book and watching what's going on as I drive, and, you know, it's kind of really nice to just kind of, like, be in the book and, you know, just be in the moment and things like that, and, it's kind of nice, you know, to just listen. And I don't know, but sometimes, like, when I'm listening to books and I'm driving, like, I'll be like, oh, look at that house over there, and who lives there, and all of a sudden, like, I've kind of tuned out the book, and then I'm, like, 5 minutes forward, and so then I have to rewind the book so that I can listen to those 5 minutes again, so, you know, and I listen to books at 2 times speed. But it's relaxing for me, you know. I finished last night Karen McManus's Two Can Keep a Secret. Let me just tell you how great that book is, okay? So I was telling Mel that the book is like a mixture of, like, young adult, Pretty Little Liars, Riverdale, but then, like, true crime. There's, like, some adult, like, there's adult issues that are going on in the book, like true crime kind of issues. And, I mean, I wouldn't say it's for a 12 or a 13-year-old. It's definitely for more like a 18, 17-year-old. And, but I think enjoyable as an adult to read too. And, I thought it was fantastically done. I read her other book earlier in the year called One of Us is Lying. Her sequel to that is coming out soon. I think it's coming out at the beginning of 2020. And, isn't it so weird that it's going to be 2020 like the TV show? But anyway. So this was her second book, and it was called Two Can Keep a Secret, and it was about these twins, brother and sister, that moved to this small town. I told about this the other day, but it was really good. And let me just tell you, even up to the very last line of the book, like people were like, when I read the reviews, they said that it was predictable, that they knew. I had no idea. And I mean, I read enough of these kind of books and watch enough of these kind of shows that I'm pretty good at, like, figuring out what's going on. I had no clue what was going on. Like, none. Like, I did not see the end coming at all. I'm kind of surprised I didn't in retrospect, but then the the very last line kind of sealed it. It was so good. But anyway, the last line of the book was fantastic even. The character development was good. If you're wanting, like, a suspenseful novel that's not too heavy, I would highly recommend it. You Can Keep a Secret. It was really good. So, yeah. I actually did talk to Tanya for a little bit today. I did talk to my sponsor for a while today, and yeah, it was good. I've got some recovery stuff coming up. My sponsor has a party she's having a party next weekend, and yeah. So now I'm reading The Pines, and I went in on Goodreads and I took off my books that I had started reading but didn't really get that far into. I think I'm going to leave The Island up there by Peter eventually because I'm still kind of into that. And it's good. So I'm like halfway through it. So 2.5 books I finished for Reading Rush. Mel ended up reading 5 books, which I think is fantastic. A lot of people that I saw and that I talked to read like 6 and 7 books. That's kind of unheard of on Reading Rush. People don't typically really read that much. I mean, they usually read like 3 or 4, but they devote a bunch of time. I didn't devote a ton of time to it. I didn't even like do a 1 reading sprint. And so yeah, maybe next year. I still had a good time doing it though. It was fun. I listened to my audiobooks faster than I would have, normally, I think. And now I'm like really into listening to books again, and I'm like really, into it. It's interesting that it's humid outside tonight and it's muggy, because earlier today it didn't feel as muggy as it does now. I don't know if maybe like the humidity changed as the night came on or whatever, but it's like it wasn't muggy at all earlier, and now it's like super, super muggy outside. Something funny to tell you about me and Alex, and now I can't remember what it was. Something funny that happened today. Maybe it was the Easy A thing, but that's not what it was. It was something to do with what? It was something to do with when we were laying in bed before we went to brunch today, and I was like, it was so funny. Thank you guys for all your recommendations on what channel Alex should start. He's always like, whenever I tell him, I'm like, have you ever thought about, do you want to do that? He's like, I don't know. He was like, my humor doesn't really translate well on YouTube, and people always read me wrong, and I'm like, well, do what you want to do. And he's really, really into his Instagram. He loves doing his Instagram stuff, This has been nonstop construction the entire time up here, can I just tell you? It's still construction. My beard is long. I trimmed it on this like shorter gauge, and I don't know why, but it like grew out funny. It grew out like out. I need to trim it tomorrow. Like my training tomorrow at 1. I wonder if Valerie's here already. If she's not here, I'll keep on vlogging, but I'm almost positive she is, because it's 12:27. Like dead. Well, McDonald's isn't. McDonald's is packed right there. Are your towns packed late at night? I feel like back in the day, no matter like what day of the week it was, no matter what time in the summers, it was always busy, and that is just not the case anymore at all. Tonight, because she was like, I'm kind of bored of the casino card. Did I leave it there last time? No, I didn't. If I have to get another one, I don't feel like getting another one. Where's my Costco card? I always keep my Costco card in here too. Okay. So many pairs of sunglasses. Empty sunglass cases. This Macy's cash, which is now too late to use. I think I threw it away. Well, where is my... Oh, no. Oh, there's my Costco card. And here is my Caesars reward card. Which, let me just tell you, there aren't a lot of rewards. It's busy tonight. She always gets, like, princess parking right up close. I don't see her car, though. I can usually spot her car a mile away. We always park on the same lane. Oh, I don't see her. Oh, did she stand me up again tonight? Where is she? Well, I guess I can keep on vlogging if she's not here. Yeah, she's not here. Text her. If I had to miss it tonight, I wouldn't be real upset. I mean, I like going and hanging out with her, but it's not like I care if I go or not. Sometimes, like when we're supposed to come, she falls asleep. I bet you anything that's what happened. I'm just gonna call her. Is she? I bet you anything she fell asleep. Well, what time did she text me? She literally would have had to have fallen asleep in like a half an hour. I mean, that could happen.
Hello?
Where are you?
You mean you're there?
I'm here and I'm waiting for you.
When did you get there? 1 minute?
Mm-hmm. Okay, it cut off while I was talking to Ballerini. But anyway, I call her Ballerini. She's like 20 minutes away or something, so I was like, I'm gonna go vlog and then I'll come back. I'll just drive around Anderson, I guess. Oh, I'll show you guys the donut place that I love, that I'm thinking about writing a book about. Well, the book starts at the donut place. It isn't about the donut place. These valet parkers out here, they literally, this guy is not, because he looks like he has had it today, but they run their butts off to the valet parking and back. I never valet park my car. It's literally like a fourth of a block to walk it. Why would I? What cracks me up is always like seeing all the semis out here. There's like tons out here, right here, that park, like they pull in, they park, and then they come and they gamble at the casino, and then they like, you know, sleep in their semis, and then they get back on the road the next day. And right here, they have all these geese, but they also have swans in this little lake right here. I wish there weren't 15,000 geese. I would get out and show you. There's like a swan over there. It's really pretty. Back in the day, when I first started gambling, it's like the very first time, well, when I would go to the Caribbean with my dad growing up, we would go to the casinos and stuff like that when I was like later in high school. But the very first time that I ever went to the casino, not to Las Vegas or anything like that, but just like a casino, like a riverboat casino, was actually a riverboat casino. And it was called, I can't remember what it was called now, but my very first boyfriend and I went down there. And I remember we went on like a Saturday afternoon, because on the way back, we listened to like the Grateful Dead live. We listened to Jack-A-Row. I remember like over and over and over again. I don't know how I remember that, but anyway. And the very first time we went, I remember you had to have, it isn't out of focus. Come on, don't do this tonight. I'm not in the mood for this. Sometimes up here, there is this train. Why is it? Well, I'm just gonna keep on talking and hoping that it focuses. There's this train that sometimes I get stopped at. Hold on, there it is. Okay. But the very first time that we went, the boat would actually take off and come back. It was like this river, it was like an actual riverboat. And it would take off and it would go down and then it would come back. It was like 2 hours. It was close to Cincinnati. It was like a 2-hour drive for us. And it was like, they actually used coin machines, like nickels and quarters and dimes and stuff like that. So if you won, like all of a sudden it would just bust out all of these like nickels, and you would have like the plastic containers, you know, to hold it. They don't do that anymore. If you haven't been to a casino ever, they have like tickets now. So it like prints out a ticket with how much you have on it. But that's what it used to be back in the day. And so yeah, I remember that was really, really fun. He and I don't remember going to the casino a lot back then. But we never had any money. That's when I was in graduate school and was working full time, and he was working 2 jobs. And at one point, you know, my roommate, who was my best friend back then, she lived with us, and we had a 2-bedroom apartment. And, yeah, I mean, we just didn't go to the casino and do stuff like that. But I think we went out after that night. I remember coming home and telling everybody like that we went to the casino, and everybody thought that was hilarious, because like nobody really went down there and went to the casino then. Oh my God, the train is going right now. So you'll get to see me get stopped at the train. But, oh no, it's coming up. The thing is going up right now. You can see it. Can you see? Well, now it just stopped, but anyway. We're about to go over the train tracks. You'll see here in just a second. My camera angle has not been good on this thing lately. Not that it really matters. Nobody watches it. They just listen to it, right? There's the train track. Here's the other train track coming up. Here's the other one. So anyway, yeah. And then my ex and I, we didn't go. Okay, so the first year that he moved up here, we ended up going to Vegas for a work thing. And that was probably the first year that he was up here? Well, it was the first time that we had ever been to Vegas, either one of us. And we stayed at the hotel at Mandalay Bay, which I think is now the Delano. And, it was the suites that were connected to Mandalay Bay. And we had such a great time. And it just was absolutely incredible. And it just was so much fun. And he was there for a work conference. And so I hung out with his coworker's husband-to-be. It was her boyfriend at the time, but then it was her husband. And now they're divorced. But we hung out all day by the pool and stuff. We had such a great time. And we were out there, it was like in July, and that was like me falling in love with Las Vegas. Like that was the very first time that I ever saw like the fountains at the Bellagio, and we went and saw O. at the Bellagio. I think that time we saw O, maybe. Yeah, we saw O, and then I wanted to see like an actual Vegas show, and we went and saw, we might have seen Divas Live too. Because I had seen, when Alex and I went and saw it with his friend, I had seen it before. His friend took us to it because it took Alex and I to it. So here's the deluxe donuts right here. Do you see it? It's coming up right here. Here it is, right here on the right. Deluxe donuts. Best donuts in the world. So anyway, I'm sure you probably couldn't even see that, but I think I saw Divas Live, and then there was like some show that I can't remember we went and saw, but it was like the girls with like the feather boas, and they did like the sinking of the Titanic. It was called The Follies, I think, and we went and saw that because I wanted to see like an actual Vegas show, you know. And oh, we went to the Golden Nugget, and we did all that stuff. That was really fun. And then he and I went another time. A couple years later, we went with some friends. Yeah. And he and I just loved going to the casino. And here in Indiana, that's when they started getting a lot of they changed the laws. So there could be casinos, but they had to be on water. And so at first, you would have to go down to like Cincinnati, where it was like on the river. And then you would actually get on these river boats. And for a while, they would like, you would actually get on it, and like for 2 hours, they would go down and then they would come back, right? But then that stopped, and they would just stay like anchored to shore, like on the like side, you know, you would like go down a plank and then go up. And then it changed, and it was like you would actually like go onto a boat, but it wasn't like actually a boat, it was just built on water. And now I think they have to just be next to a body of water. But I think that law still exists, because every time you go to a casino in Indiana, it's like right next to it. Like they have these man-made lakes. I don't know, maybe it's changed. All of it's changed. We didn't have the horse racing back then, the pari-mutuel betting. I don't do that. I don't like that. But we didn't have any of that back in the day. It is hot in here. My ex and I, we used to gamble quite a bit. Like, we would go to the casino all the time. And we got so many comps that we would take my mom or take our friend, my friend that just recently passed away. He would go with us. And we would go down to Caesars in southern Indiana, which I think is now called Hollywood. And it was really nice. We would go to Belterra sometimes, which is a really, really nice one. And we would also go to, what was the other one that we would go to? Oh, Argosy. We went to Argosy a lot. But like when we would go stay in Seymour, like we would go back and just visit our friends for the weekend, like every other weekend we would go down there and stay. We would, like, on a Saturday night, we would go out to eat, and then we would drive down to Argosy Casino, and then we would gamble all night long, and then, like, the four of us would go and, like, hit up the breakfast buffet, and then drive home, and then sleep all the next day, or go to, like, the Seymour City Pool. I miss going to the City Pool so much. I was thinking about that today. I was like, Alex and I, a couple years ago, went to the City Pool, and it was so much fun. It's super cheap to go. The water's, like, ice cold. I think I want to do that. We'll have to do that before the summer's over. But, do they keep a city pool open even though, like, kids are back in school? There's a city pool really close to us, actually. I'm not where I wanted to be. I was, like, turning around, this turnaround, but that's not where I wanted to turn around. Does that make any sense whatsoever? My ex and I, though, when we would go, like, if we took my mom, like, he would disappear, and we would, like, my mom and I would be sitting there playing. So, like, I never play, like, high amounts of, like, I might play max bet on a machine if I go. Well, I mean, on these machines that, like, Valerie and I play, I don't play max bet. Max bet is, like, $25 a spin. No, ma'am. I spend, like, I don't spend more than really, like, $1.50 a spin. I was talking to Rich today. He was telling me about, like, what he likes these Buffalo machines. He was like, you need to play the Buffalo machines. And we were talking about hand pays and stuff like that. But Yeah, some of them, the max bets now. See, back in the day, like if they were like, you know, quarter machines, and then you would, like a max bet would be like 75 cents or $1.25. But now that they have like, you know, you can play 1 cent or 2 cent or 5 cent or 10 cent, okay? You know, or like $1 and then 25 cent. It's just, it becomes so much. And some of these people that sit there, I mean, seriously, I'm not lying to you. Like I've seen people sit there and just go like this. At $25 a bet. Now mind you, they win a lot. I've seen people literally get hand pays like 10 and 15 times in a row. And like what a hand pay is when it's over $1,100. So they have to come and they have to actually write a ticket and hand pay you. And then they have to take out taxes. This one night, Valerie and I were sitting there, I swear to God, this guy, he hit a hand pay about every 15 minutes. And they were like $1,800, $2,700. I mean, I bet he walked out of there with probably 15 or 20 grand. We don't ever win like that. Now, Valerie she's hit 3 grands on these machines. So we play the lightning, bolt, the lightning strikes. We play the lightning strike machines. I like the heart ones. They're my favorites. And I don't know which one she likes. But anyway, we play those, and they have a lot of bonuses on there. If you're lucky enough to get a machine that gets a bonus, sometimes you go in and go through your money like that. And but anyway, she's hit 3 grand. So there's different like progressives that you can hit. Like there's a mini, which is like, so if you're playing on a penny, the mini is $10, the minor is $50. The major is what the progressive is. It goes up and goes up and goes up, and the grand goes up and goes up and goes up. So the progressive starts at the major starts at 500 and it goes up to 1,000. So I've hit those a few times. I've hit them for like 700, 600, 1,000. I've hit them for a couple times. One night I hit 2 in one night. Valerie's hit a bunch of majors. But then the grand starts at 10,000. Valerie hit it for 16,000 one time. She hit it for, I think, 21,000 another time. She's hit it quite a few times, the grand. And you don't, I mean, it could just come up on, you could be playing 50 cents, like total, and you could hit the grand. I've seen that happen to people before. And they're like, they literally sit down and they put like $20 in, and they're playing 50 cents a bet, and they hit $20,000. I've seen that hit quite a bit. And, it's funny because like when you go to Vegas, like I don't hit a lot in Vegas if I like go to a lot of different casinos, but like when I stayed at the Cosmopolitan, I hit quite a bit at the Cosmopolitan. Last time I didn't at all. But like smaller casinos like this actually do pretty well sometimes. Although I haven't done well the last couple times I've gone, so who knows about all that, but and if you go to the casino, you want to get a Players Club card, just do. Okay, because you'll get, if you ever go back, you'll get free stuff, and yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's like a free thing. There's all these rumors and myths about the casino, like if you play with your cards, you won't win. And I was talking to the girl, because of course, you know, like I become so friendly with all the girls and guys that work at the casino, so I know them all. But I was asking this one friend of mine that works there, and she was like, they're 2 completely different systems. She's like, plus, in our higher limits, oh my God, I don't ever go into that room. I think I've walked through that room, but I don't think I've ever played in that room. The high limit slots, she was like, people hit on their cards all the time in there. They're playing on their cards and they win. So she's like, no, there's nothing to do with that. People always say, oh, they turned off the machines. It's that time of night. They always say, oh, they're like watching us from above. They don't want us to like all these like old ladies. They always say like, oh, they turned the machines off upstairs. So I was sitting there one night and this woman she was driving me nuts. She's like, oh, I hate when they do that. They watch us from upstairs and then they turn the machines off because they don't want some of us to win. I'm like, no, okay, it's totally random. But of course I'm really nice. And I'm like, do you think so? She's like, oh yes, I know it. I've seen it happen so many times. She's like, they just turn the machines off. Of course, she kept on shoveling $100 bills in there like it was nobody's business. I was like, oh, okay. And so I was talking to my friend that works there, and she's like, we don't even have an upstairs. She was like, they have cameras in the casino. They have a lot of them, but we can't go in those rooms. And she was like, those rooms are monitored, but they're in back. She's like, we have no upstairs to the casino. But this is true story. Can I just tell you? I said, what is like some of the weirdest stuff that you've ever seen? And my friend told me, she goes, you know when you hear about people that like will not get up from their chairs? Okay, all you have to do, first of all, is, I feel like that person just took a picture of me. Cause like, do you see that? A flash going off? Oh, they're taking a picture of somebody in the back seat. But anyway, so like if you're supposed to like turn your chair around. You're not supposed to lean your chair up against the machines anymore because people could trip over them, like if you get up and go to the bathroom. But people can still take your chairs and they'll just say you were gone too long or whatever. So you can also ask somebody that works there to like watch your machine, but people don't want to do that, right? People don't want to get up from their machines. Do you know what people do? They pee in their chairs. Is that not the grossest thing in the entire world? Can you imagine like being so afraid that you were gonna hit some major win on a slot machine that you didn't want to get up from your slot machine, so you just stayed right there and just peed where you were just sat and peed on yourself? Can you even imagine? Oh my God, that's so weird. I can't even imagine. One night there was a fight that broke out in there. I think I talked about that on here. There's this one older guy, he's so nice. I think he and his wife must come every single night. Oh my God, the railroad track is, or the railroad is going again, the train is going again. It's going doom, 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 boom, the lights. But he always, can you see it? Do you want to see? Can you see in the distance? It says red lights going back and forth. But whenever he comes and sees me, he's always really nice. And he's like, okay, he and his wife are probably not even 10 years, 15 years older than me. And he's like, oh, he always like treats me like I'm a little kid. He's like, hey partner, how you doing? I'm like, fine. He's like, are you winning big money tonight, partner? And I'm like, no. He was like, well, some of us have got to keep this casino alive, I guess. He's real nice. People are always usually really pretty nice at the casino. I don't know, that's not necessarily true. But most people are pretty nice at the casino. Does it freak you out to like get real close to a train? Like here, like the train is going right now. Here, I'll let you hear it. And like I don't like to get right up close next to the train. You want to see it? It's almost done, I think. I put my car in. Come on now. Oh, it's over, thank God. I put my car in park. I do not like being close to it, and I don't like, it just makes me nervous. What if that lone caboose came out of nowhere and was like, boom! I'd be like, oh my God, my last vlog. No, that's horrible to say. But it does, it scares me so much. I don't like trains, they scare me. That's from the movie Rear Window, by the way. Oh. Well, I'm at 20 minutes and 31 seconds, and I'm almost to my little part where I have to turn off to go to the casino again. So I think I'm going to call it a night right here. And I don't know how long that is, 44 minutes or 45 minutes. It'll be 45-minute vlog or something. That's not too bad, I don't think. So anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday, unless you have other plans, but don't. Make the most of your day, enjoy it. This is not a dress rehearsal. Make the most of your life. And think, like, when I see other people that are in pain, I try to, like, the takeaway after, you know, is stop complaining. Your life could be so much worse. And today I just have to say I feel very, very grateful for my life. And I feel very grateful for all of you out there that choose to watch my vlog. And I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And so, yeah. So have an amazing Monday. Unless you have other plans, like I said. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Pass it on to somebody else. Make sure that you look in the mirror every single day and say, I love you, and I love you. And that you, you know, reinforce your own self-worth. Have to love somebody else. Or you have to love yourself before you can love somebody else. Let me get that correct. And I think that's a hard thing for a lot of us to do, you know? So yeah, I love you, if it matters. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.